All right, Dr. Carl, welcome back, and everyone else on the call today. We're going to do our regular Eagles training, max training today with someone who's been in the, I guess you can call it the health and wellness industry for over 40 years, built large teams and done a lot of training at Sunnybrook Hospital, I believe it is, and even maybe Mount Sinai.
Mount Sinai Hospital on the fourth floor, yeah.
Yeah, wow. So take it over, Dr. Carl, and share whatever you feel led about your background and or whatever you would like to teach us today on what we just discussed.
And Pastor Dominic, could you record this, please? I need to have it taped.
Sure. Oh, okay, go for it.
Okay. But yes, thanks everybody, and I hope that I'm going to give you 3 steps of action really helping people to understand better what we do here. First of all is that let us recognize that a medical mystery for over the past 100 years was actually solved. Just think about that. This special molecule, by the way, which we call, it's the master antioxidant that we call glutathione, was discovered in 1888. 1888. I want you to just imagine that for a second. Over 100 years ago. And many scientists, they knew about it, they knew the benefits of it, they know that life cannot actually, life would never be without it because God put it in everything. Now I'm talking about the master now. The master is called master for a reason because all the antioxidants depends on the master. Nutrition that we eat depends on the master. So we need to really grab hold of that and understand what this actually really means. This is a key molecule that life cannot sustain, or health, or good health cannot sustain without it. That's just the way it is. Somebody asked me the other day, someone that I actually put into the business, the higher you go up and you start dealing with people with lots of money and so forth, they ask you a lot of questions. They want to be sure. But the question was asked, what's the difference between what I spoke about, antioxidants, and this specific antioxidant? And I say, well, all the rest of antioxidants come from outside. This one is called the mother and the master antioxidant because it's the one that controls everything from within. I hope you get that. The second thing is that you can go to the store and buy all the rest of antioxidants, but this one is not for sale. You can't buy the master because the master can only be manufactured by itself. See, there you go. You can't purchase it. It's not for sale. It's in the cell. You can't eat enough food to build those levels up. So scientists have been able, this mystery of this molecule they discovered in 1888 and the benefits of it, and how it served life and good health. Well, think about how many scientists attempt to alter the cells to raise that special molecule, actually master antioxidant, which we call glutathione. How many scientists attempt to raise it, attempt to figure out how to get it to increase the levels in the cell or the cell to manufacture it, and it just couldn't do it. It died and just went on. So 100 years forward, Dr. Nagasawa found the breakthrough, and Dr. Kala, 2 top scientists of the world, they discover how it's done, and this is why we have ribosine technology today. So I'm going to give you the breakdown of how to actually talk to people. To make it very simple, I could have called this training simple because it's simple. We have something that we used years ago. We call it KISS. We call it KISS, and that means that keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. Don't make things difficult for people that they don't understand. Now, so let's tell you what happened. Over 100 illnesses were disease, health problems, whatever you want to call it, have one thing in common. They have this one thing in common. What is that one thing? Lack of enough of the master antioxidant we call glutathione in the cells. Once you're lacking that, just what every disease or sickness you can think about are associated with actually low of this master antioxidant. Now, I'm going to explain to you what actually the master antioxidant glutathione, what it does. First of all, this is the antioxidant that can recharge itself. What I mean by that, if you take vitamin C or vitamin E or any of those things, they have electrons. So when they neutralize a free radical, what I mean by neutralize, I mean a cell has two electrons. When one of those electrons are missing, what happens is now that cell becomes a free radical. It needs to have an electron back in order to be healthy again. If it is not given an electron, then that's a sick cell called a free radical. A free radical goes around in the body looking for an electron. So what is happening, this sick cell is making more of itself because it's stealing. So you have a healthy cell, the free radical will steal one of the electrons, and then so on and so on and so on. So if you ever had a plant at home, this is the way for you to see it, and you see a leaf going yellow on your plant, you know that if you don't remove that leaf in time, the one beside of it is going to turn yellow. If you don't remove those, the next one will turn yellow. It's telling you that your plant has a virus. It's stealing. It's trying to steal energy from the one beside it, and that's why you got to remove those leaves fast, or not the whole plant will die. The second way, oxidative stress, I'm going to explain to you how this should work so you can visualize it. You have a better understanding about it. If you take one bad apple and put it in a box of good apples, eventually what happens? All of the apples goes bad. That's the power of negativity playing with positive things. So let's go oxidation in the apples, oxidation in the plants, and oxidation in the body happens the same way. Just be dealing, I just want you to understand what it is. So all of these diseases scientists have found that have illnesses have one thing in common: low of the master antioxidant is not producing enough inside of the cell. And I just need to elaborate this a little better so you can get it. You cannot purchase the master. You cannot eat to get the master levels up. The only way to do that, the cell must have the precursors it needs to manufacture the master antioxidant itself. So I hope you get that. Don't go shopping for it. It's not for sale. The cell must manufacture the master itself. So what is a big problem in these health things? I just told you a while ago, but I'll elaborate on it again. Free radicals is actually the problem. So whatever we do, people must understand the foundation. The foundation of the health problems is what again? Free radicals. How do they form? We know. Bad foods, chemicals, this, that, whatever, not enough sleep, stress, drinking top water, showering in top water because of the chemicals, drinking chlorine, eating foods that are actually fried and meat. And the big one is that all of us are going to age. So if you push everything aside, then you know you're going to age. And scientists have proven that those levels go down 1% per year. So free radicals is a problem. What causes these free radicals? Again, not enough oxidative stress, the main problem to all health problems. Not enough of the master antioxidant inside of the cell. A mass antioxidant would be called glutathione. Now, I'm going to make a suggestion for you. The free radical part, if you're talking to people about health, you got to cover that part first. They must have an understanding why they're sick, what is shown, why scientists say that this is it. And you see, they must fix that problem first. If they think they can get around it, and continue being with a body that's actually with a whole bunch of oxidative stress inside of it. Free radicals, by the way, are like little fires. They burn things up. So if they're not actually put out, and it's the antioxidants, the masked antioxidant that put them out. There's actually nothing else that actually does it. The masked antioxidant is more powerful, over 100 times more powerful than vitamin C and vitamin E put together. That's why it's the master. And that's why it's not outside of your body. It's actually inside of your body, okay? If you get what I'm telling you, it's very easy. So oxidative stress is always the problem. I want you to say that. I want you to know it. I want you to explain that to people. If you find a new way, well, you're going to tell a scientist, I found a different way. That's not the real problem. Oxidative stress is definitely the problem. And over 100 illnesses and diseases is actually born from oxidative stress. So we got to fix that first in the body before the body can say, okay, I understand, now I can heal. Now, what does antioxidant also do, this masked antioxidant? It's called glutathione because if you understand why they call it that and what it does, what I'm going to give to you very simple so you understand what it is, okay? The masked antioxidant, things stick to it. Heavy metals stick to it. Toxic poisons stick to it. It's like a magnet inside of the body that other metals stick to. I hope you understand how magnet works. Well, I'm not talking about magnet right now, but glutathione, the masked antioxidant, or the masked antioxidant glutathione, operates like a magnet. They have these free radicals going around, and glutathione is going through and neutralizing them. They're sticking to it. It turns to liquid, that metal or whatever inside of the body, and the body flashes it out through your number 2 section. So that's how this stuff is leaving your body, if you're wondering what is taking place, okay? Your body's cleaning itself up, and God put the master inside of the body in order to clean your body up. So if somebody asks you what is the difference, you just explain the difference. Is vitamin C is an antioxidant, but when it gives away one of its electrons to neutralize a free radical already in the body, vitamin C becomes a free radical. You see that? Vitamin E, it's no use any longer. So it depends on the master antioxidant to give it back a electron to make vitamin C good again so it could go and do the job one more time. It's called, it recharges it. Okay? Now, the only thing you cannot kill in the body is the masked antioxidant, glutathione. If you could think about this, that it can give a molecule away, but it doesn't become a free radical like vitamin C and E. It just accumulates another electron. You give one away to cool the fire, and then it forms one back. So all you can see is God working through that. That's why it cannot die. It can reduce, but it really cannot die, okay? So all antioxidants are not the same. There is a master. My master antioxidant is called glutathione. So if anybody asks you what is the difference, let them know that. Let them know it's not for purchase. Number one, first step. Explain to people why they're probably sick because of free radicals, oxidative stress that happens with age, taking certain medication, diet, whatever. All that stuff happens because something happened before. So high blood pressure is just what? It's the symptom that came from the real problem. Diabetes, what is that? It is not high sugar. There's another problem. There's another cause. So if the cause is not fixed, if you have inflammation, it didn't just happen because the body is just functioning perfect. It tells you that there's a cause that causes the inflammation. There's a cause and effect. The cause is you have too much free radicals in your body, oxidative stress, too many fires, and you don't have enough of the master antioxidant to put those fires out. Well, I mentioned to you that you can't purchase the master, okay? Please remember that. So the first problem is what? Oxidative stress, we know why it's caused. Solution, the solution is what? The master antioxidant. So now we go to the second section and we say, well, we got to raise that in order to get rid of the problem that we're seeing. Okay, so that's the second step. First step, radical. Second step, explain to people what happens. When that's low, your body's in trouble. Remember, it's a protector, and it actually gives life. So don't bypass it. It will never happen. All antioxidants are not the same. You cannot purchase the master from the store. That's the big difference, okay? Not for sale. And then, now the cell produces the third step. The cell is the one that produced the master. So how does it do that? Well, the precursors in the cells, the main one is L-cysteine. If L-cysteine is not available in the cell already, the cell cannot manufacture the master antioxidant. Because you can't eat it, it's not going to happen from outside. You can't put it in there, so you got to put the precursors in there. You give the cell more of what is already in the cell to cause the cell to produce more of the master antioxidant. And that is what ribosine technology is. This is why it took 100 years for somebody to figure it out. Imagine knowing about a medical problem, something that's so valuable to health and life, since 1888, and no one could figure out how to alter the cell. In other words, nobody could figure out how to raise the master antioxidant glutathione in the cell until now. Until now. And only Max International have that formula, so don't worry about it. If you understand what I'm telling you, if you're looking for good health, you know how to get it. If you're looking for finances, well, this is the business. And I don't know if most of you all understand right now that years ago we were saying that the health and wellness industry is going to become a $1 trillion industry. See, that was a dream that we had years ago. I'm talking about over 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Well, guess what? That dream has come true. The natural wellness industry today is $3.4 trillion. 3.4. The pharmaceutical is $1 trillion. It tells you the direction that people are moving into. They're moving into natural. And this is why this industry is 3 times bigger now than the pharmaceutical around the world. What it tells you, I have a list of the people that take drugs, take natural supplements, just about every single person. As a matter of fact, if 87% of people taking natural supplements to tell you there was a shift. So shift with the shift, by the way, okay? Don't stay where you are. And you see what's going on today? Immune system. Immune system. So vitamin C was validated 47,000 times by scientifically validated. The benefits of vitamin C was scientifically validated by scientists around the world by public articles. But if you notice, back in 1983, the validation of the masked antioxidant glutathione was only 8,000. It shows you that there's a shift that happened in the scientific industry. Now they're looking at what? The masked antioxidant. That's why the validations for that, the scientific validation by scientists around the world for the masked antioxidant glutathione is at 150,000. So I don't know if you just heard that number. I mean, if this thing is going to be validated so many times by scientific studies and public articles, don't you think everybody should be running to get it? Well, I'm telling you, those that swallow that ribosine, and what ribosine is the master. It's L-cysteine. It is actually the main amino acid in the cell already. So all ribosine is doing is showing the cell how to manufacture more of the masked antioxidant glutathione. L-cysteine, a ribosine is a delivery system that passes through the digestive tract safe. Because you see what happened, the problem that scientists have, L-cysteine is very fragile. If you blow on it, it can disappear. So it took scientists over 100 years to figure out how to get that to pass the digestive system and into the cell. And it took a natural sugar to wrap around L-cysteine to protect it through the digestive tract into the cell, and only when it gets into the cell, it releases L-cysteine inside of the cell, so the cell can have more of what it wants to manufacture the master antioxidant glutathione that cool down those free radicals or calm the main problem. The main problem again, simple, free radicals, oxidative stress. I don't care where you're at in health. If you have a health problem, your antioxidant, your master antioxidant level, glutathione, is low. If you want that fix, get the supplement. Get the precursors. Get ribosine, which has the amino acid that the cell needs to produce more of that to go cool those fires down for you. And I'm telling you right now, your health will start to shift. So scientists, they shift from vitamin C to the master antioxidant glutathione. 3 times as much. There are more validations on this masked antioxidant glutathione than vitamin C. And vitamin C was the biggest seller, single supplement sold around the world. 31 billion in the United States, 123 billion worldwide. Imagine that. Only because it was validated and more people know about it right now. But I'm telling you right now, before I get off the phone, 100 years of mystery have been solved. Now the scientists knew how to alter cells, cellular cells, on a cellular level, by raising the master antioxidant glutathione inside of the cell. I mean, that's a secret, see? That's a formula. Ribosine is a formula. The ribosine is not glutathione. You can't eat glutathione. The cell must make it. The ribosine is the building blocks, the precursors, the L-cysteine that just safely get into the cell and let the cell do what it's supposed to do, okay? So I hope you follow those 3 steps that I just gave you. They're very simple. Find out from people first. Let people know that, listen, your problem started because you have too much free radicals or oxidative stress. If you know overnight already that anything starts in people's body, you better go let the scientists know, or please come and tell me, because I don't learn that. So that's the number 1 way, okay? So explain that to people so people understand you can't get around this. You can't run away from it. Drugs is not going to fix it, ever. I can tell you that, okay? So you're taking medication not to solve the problem right now. You're taking medication to treat the symptoms. The real cause of the problem must be fixed. That real cause of the problem is lack of enough of the master antioxidant in your cells, glutathione. And because of that lack, free radicals and oxidative stress took over. And when that takes over, health problem shows up. So explain that to people, that's the system. And we have the solution. Ribosine technology. Pastor Dominic, that's all I need to say, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Carl, for another amazing in-depth training and presentation on the level of science we're dealing with here. Over 150,000 scientific validations of the master antioxidant that we're talking about. So I think that's going to be very valuable to everyone who listens to this and then puts it into action. And so if you have any other questions, feel free to get back to the person who invited you today. And we're going to be here to help you, move forward. And we're going to be doing Tuesday and Thursday night Zoom calls at 9:30 p.m. where we get into the testimonials. That's what I love, is not only did we focus on the science today, but we have real life testimonies to back up everything that we just talked about. And so have a great weekend, everybody. We look forward to seeing you again Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m.